Well, this side of the church sign says, a Bible falling apart belongs to a person who isn't. Wow. That's, I mean, see my hair sticking out or something. Dadgummit. That is, that's quite interesting. I have seen, and usually it's older people that have a Bible falling apart. It's because they had it for a while. And this is what the kicker is to me when I first started hanging out in churches where I could see people with their Bibles tore apart. I just kept, I don't know, the spirit of what God is hit me so hard and so thorough. And for a short time, took a guy that's dyslexic, couldn't read a comic book and enjoy it when I was a kid. Never read a book in my life, but took me through that Bible with the spirit of what God is, with revelation flowing through the words. In other words, the night that it happened, I'll never forget it, but the words started floating off the page and literally coming up into me and through my eyes, and I can hear the word, and I was reading the word, and I was seeing it without it being twisted, like dyslexic wise, you know, where the letters are backwards. And after I read for like a paragraph, it just really even starts falling apart. Can't even make the words, the letters stay still beside each other or nothing. But all that went away that night, and I'm telling you, I was totally blown away. And so it happened the next time I read the Bible in the Spirit now, not just trying to do it just to see if it was going to happen. I had to be deep. Well, let me say this before I don't say this. So you got to understand this. The word came out of my chest was grace. That's the first audible word I ever heard outside of my being that rocked me down to my atoms. So this is now about a month, 4 weeks into it. A lady gave me a Bible at the church that Emily Limley took me to, and it had big letters, so she figured that would help me be able to read and see with, you know, being dyslexic. And that night, I hadn't intended to read nothing. I had been listening to Matthew, Mark, and John on a computer where I could actually hear the words. And that's where Emily told me to start. Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. Yeah, something like that. You know, the 4 or 5. Deadgum bike fell over. Deadgummit. It done it again. Now I got to stand it up. Y'all just hang on. Let me get the dang thing up. All right. Now that makes me wonder, what was I saying when it fell over? I was going off into something that I need to get to the point of the story that I was trying to tell you, probably. It's more likely. Not that I'm misleading you. Oh, the devil's got him. The devil's got him saying things about God in the Bible that ain't true. That's what some people probably think. But I could care less what people do say or think about anyone or anything at all. It don't matter to me. All right, so that night, I heard the Spirit say, turn to 1 Timothy. And I even questioned it. And so the next thing I heard was, get the Bible the lady gave you and turn to 1 Timothy. I read about 22 pages that first session. I thought I was going to be a Bible scholar. I found out there was a concordance and there was a Hebrew and lexicon translation to the Greek and the Aramaic, and I could do all that on the computer too. And the Spirit walked me through that Bible for about 6 months. I swear I started looking up Bible scholars all over the country and calling them and telling them I'm joining the ranks of a Bible scholar. I had that Bible that she gave me all eared up, dogged up, and marked through and highlighted, and little text things wrote on the side in my scribbling language. But to make a long story short and get down to the point, after 6 months, the Spirit said, close it. I said, what do you mean, Father? Close it. And then the Word said, less than 10% of that Bible is the understanding of the true love of what Christ is. I said, what's the rest? He said, it's put there for confusion of the mind of the masses, of the collective consciousness. And you've stepped out of that reality. And you see love everywhere. Therefore you don't, talking about me now, I don't need to read it. So I got to wondering, what in the... Okay. I got to wondering why was some of these older people reading their Bibles every day and marking them up and, you know, making them rough and old. And they're rough and old because he ain't gonna see too many young people doing that no more. But that was in the days back before television, that was their entertainment. And they were specifically told to read that Bible every day. I just had to go through it in the Spirit and close it. Don't make me right, don't make me wrong. But I'm just, the sign said what the sign said, and I'm just telling you, if those same stories over the years don't evolve in your consciousness, and you still think the first time you ever read it was the richest way it could ever be, something's not connecting. Because I went back through the main parts and they've evolved with my consciousness. And I couldn't explain it if I tried my language or my verbiage to try to tell you what that means. But that Bible and that script on that page, the letter killeth, but the word giveth life. And if it's not evolving consciously with what we're doing on the inside of us and the outside of what's happening in reality to show us what we need to know to stay in a peaceful mind with a loving heart, then you got to ask yourself, is that confusion or is that reality? I want reality. I don't want confusion. I don't want I don't know why some people don't get me. I don't care though. I do know why they don't get me. Let me just back up and say that. I'm different, people. Always have been and always will be. And get this, you are too. You're unique to what God is, and you're unique to what you see yourself as. But if you see yourself as just another person in this multitude of billions of people, you gotta question stuff. I've questioned how many people are really out there. And I've come to the conclusion, in the spirit of what God is, with the teaching of Christ consciousness, there's not many of us. Not many of us. Why does it appear to be that many out there? When did time really start? When did the Christ consciousness really walk on earth? Or is it still walking? We just haven't been told the truth, people. Question everything. Do your own research. Look it up for yourself. Never be told what a scripture in the Bible means until you walk it and understand it and have it revealed through spirit or whatever modality you need to hear it from. But to just blindly flip through those pages and never grow in consciousness is, in my word, it's not normal. It's not normal. Bye.